What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. In today's video, we're gonna break down our old 2023 tournament kayak so that we can make room for our new one for 2024. Yeah guys, it's finally time to break down our good old 2023 tournament kayak so that we can make room for a new one. That means bringing this thing back to bone stock, pulling all the accessories that I spent 3 months putting on this thing. That includes pulling out all the wiring for electronics. We need to get everything out of here so that we can get this thing out and bring in our new one. This is something that's gonna take probably a lot of time, but I asked in one of the previous videos if you guys want to see the process of breaking this down. I got some responses to do it, so we're going to do that today. Not sure how we're going to break this down in the next 24 to 48 hours and put it in one video, but we're going to give it a try. One of the big things that I need to figure out is what we're going to keep from this kayak for the next build and what things that we need to get rid of because, well, I don't got enough space to keep everything, so we need to figure out what to do in this situation. We only have a limited time, so you know what? Let's get this thing started. Then we're gonna start in the back and the stern and work our way to the bow and just see how the process goes. If you guys didn't see the last video, I did get this nice rigging cart from Sparehand systems so I can work on this kayak. Got a bad lower back, so I do not want to just keep leaning over to work on this thing. I won't spoil it. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the top corner or also in the description. Make sure you check it out. It's a Sparehand systems cart. It's gonna make my life easier in the long run. Well, guess we won't be needing this anymore. Hate to do it, but it's time. Well, we pulled out the foot control steering, all the Spectra cording, and also disconnected all the pulley systems for my Torpedo. Gotta pull this bracket off and that'll be one step done out of the process. Well, that was pretty easy. Got the motor bracket off. We put the rudder plate back on. Time to pull the rest of these pulley lines out, and then we can work our way to the middle of the kayak. Well, I guess it's time to take apart this entire middle section of the kayak, all of these things. Let's get to it. Okay, we made some progress so far. Pretty much got all the H rails cleared out. We need to take off our bow mount H rail. We have all the wiring zip tied to it, so we need to cut that out. I mean, look at the kayak. It's just dirty from our last tournament. I have not cleaned it. Literally just got baits and stuff just laying around. I'm actually pretty surprised. I figured it would take quite a bit of time, but it actually hasn't been that bad, honestly. I think building this thing, not knowing where to put things or how to mount it and figure out the layout, took a lot of time when it came to putting together this build, but taking apart has been pretty easy. Just got to keep the train moving. I'm really not excited about doing the wiring and pulling that all out, but it has to be done. Luckily, everything's going smooth so far. The worst part about this H rail is that the way I did it, I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. It's also not too easy to take off. There's just a limited amount of gap to get a little wrench in there. So you just gotta kind of get those teeth going and try to pull it out. There we go. Trying to stay as organized as possible, making sure I don't lose the hardware. Got these little baggies I get off of Amazon. I actually organize my hooks in these, just writing down what it's for. Obviously this will be for the bow mount, so Trying to keep organized as much as we can so we don't lose any of this stuff. For those who haven't seen, this is how I mount my graph on the front. 2 H-rail mounting plates, and then the actual gimbal that holds my Lowrance Elite FS9. Now we got the fun part. What the heck is in here? Well, we got a whole bunch of junk in here. Okay, taking this out. Well, now it's time to dive into the wiring. We need to pull all this stuff out. First thing is pulling off my active target, my sniper pole. Luckily, it's a pretty easy thing to do. Literally just pull all this wire out. Got that through hole in here, which should make the process pretty easy. Just like that, whole system pops out. Just making it as easy as possible. For those who are new and haven't seen my build video, this is kind of how I have it laid out in here. Got a plate that holds my active target box, yak power controls all my electronics. I did take the rod tube out on this side so that I could run my wiring in, because on this side I have a plate that I have where I can do that through hole in the bottom. I also have a little USB up top. That's what it looks like typically over there, but I have this plate that I mounted. But the next step is to pull that out and all the wiring that's behind it. Let's do this. Okay, now we got the not so fun part, all the wiring. Gotta pull all this through, all the through holes, and organize it. I mean, look at this. Whew. We got active target stuff for yak power, all these SAE plugs. Got stuff for Nemia 2000. Gotta pull this all out to get them organized, zip tied, so that I know what I'm gonna use for the next kayak and not just guessing what plug goes to what. Here we go. Side graph. Well, overall, all the wiring is out of the kayak for the most part. Got a couple things like the transducer to take out. Now we got to take off these LED strips that I threw on. Overall, I mean, these lasted the whole season. Nice thing about these, no holes, right? Other than this one completely falling off at the end of the season. I mean, they stayed on pretty much the whole year. Again, no holes, which is really nice. Next, we got to pull the seat off so we can get the transducer out. We got 3 screws down there. Pull it out, then we can pull the transducer out through the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see this, but ew, look at all that gunk that's just been collected over time. All right, y'all, we're pretty much done. We got this thing back to bone stock. Just got to take a couple decals off later on. Just got to put the heat gun to it. I'm not too worried about that right now, but I got all my accessories off. Everything is a huge mess just laying on the table behind me. Now comes the hard part of organizing, figuring out what I'm keeping, what I'm not going to keep, try to get everything tucked away so we have a clean slate, a clean table to work on the next kayak. It definitely didn't take as long as I thought it would. I guess when I'm building out the kayak, getting all the wiring done, make sure everything was right, I guess that takes a lot longer. Yeah, 6 hours, not too bad overall, but definitely a big step in the right direction so that we can get this thing out of here and get started on the next build. And with that, I'm pretty tired, so it's time to wrap things up and get as much cleaned up as I can because I got a whole bunch of mess behind me. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.